we are back on the porch. That's a big mug you got there, Spinoza.
What, my face? That's my mama's fault. Oh, you mean the coffee?
That mug is about as big as your face.
Yeah.
Now this is a mug. Yeah.
A big mug for a big mug.
Yeah. I'm not going to touch that line.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. It's been a while. Oh, hey, all kind of crazy stuff going on, huh? Craig, have you seen all that crazy stuff going on?
There's no shortage. No shortage.
Wow.
Anywhere you look right now, man.
Everywhere you look.
Pick a topic. I saw today, we don't need to necessarily go in a political event on this, but Trump today, I just saw a quick little glimpse of this. Remember that E. Jean Carroll trial and all that? That's back in the news today. That other trial all those trials are coming back around again. So,
trials about who? Trials about who? Trials about
well,
who?
remember E. Jean, all that defamation, E. Jean Carroll and all that?
Yeah,
because he was trying to about Trump.
Oh, Trump.
Yeah, remember that guy.
I was wondering when you were going to say Trump.
No, I said that at the top. And what is interesting, I had to kind of laugh because you had that going on. Judge Marchand is going to be making a ruling today as well. And I had to kind of laugh because when all that was back in the news several months ago, I was well dialed in because that was the news, right? But time has kind of passed, and I thought, I've got to brush up a little bit on that. But I had to kind of laugh. I thought, talk about interesting timing that, Trump has been talking about so many other things, and now you have this stuff hitting the press. I just thought, isn't this going to be kind of interesting? This is now going to be out there hitting. And I just thought about some of his supporters, principally women, and saying, what is your opinion about this E. Jean Carroll trial? Now she was awarded, what was it, David, like $88 million. Then it was $5 million. Then he started flapping about it. She received another $83 million. And today, man, the part I heard, he was flapping again, doing more defamation stuff. And they were saying, is she going to sue him again? I thought, this guy doesn't get it. So I don't mean to take this in that direction, but I was just listening to that earlier this morning. I thought, here we go again. Crazy, crazy stuff.
Well, crazy isn't a good word necessarily, because that insinuates that they're not aware. They don't know.
Yeah. People
are confused and lost, and they're not. And the interesting thing about women on that side of the ledger for Trump, and I'm sure they mean well, but I ask myself, do those women have daughters, and would they want their daughters to date a guy like Trump who just wants to go up to their daughters and grab them by the
Yeah.
Maybe those women secretly at night fantasize about Trump doing that to them. Now, I know that's going to stir up a lot of trouble. Oh, by the way, this is Porch Talk. I'm David Espinoza. That's Craig Aarons.
Yeah, they wouldn't guess that. This looks like a porch.
Anyway, on that note, hey, let's talk, since we're talking about things like kind of serious. By the way, we're filmmakers. Do we take that serious? Nah. Only when we're doing it. After we do it, we don't take it serious, because then it's up to the public. They either love us, hate us, or don't care one way or the other. And we don't take that serious. But what we do take serious is our professional standards. Our professional standards. Now, people say, wait a minute, you're an indie maker. You don't have any professional standards. You guys fly by the seat of your pants. Well, you go off the cuff, man. You go there, you improv it. You got one little camera and a bunch of people with a maybe script. A guy with a flashlight holding lights for you. And you make movies. I don't know. That's not how we do it. How do we do it, Craig?
Like what you just said. No.
You're
Right?
holding the flashlight.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think with our backgrounds, you and I will say this, that we have a certain level of expectations from other people in this industry. You and I consistently do what we say, we perform at a high level, and we have the same expectations of those around us. The frustration that I have, and I think I can speak for you, are those within this industry that do not share that same level of professionalism. And like what you're saying, does that exist in this industry? Absolutely, it does, by the seat of their pants. And that lack of professionalism on multiple levels gives this industry a bad rap. Yeah.
Well, let's clarify that, because that's kind of broad. Professionalism. What the hell does that mean? Professionalism. That mean you got a degree? Is that what that means? Does it mean you're successful? Is that what that means? Professionalism? Does that mean you got great talent? Is that what that means? Professionalism? I take professionalism to mean one thing: commitment. And I take commitment to be the derivative of integrity. Integrity. You see, I asked people before and I've worked in many projects from theater to film and all kinds of other things. Believe me, and I've always asked people, "What is commitment?" They say, "Well, doing what you say you're going to do." And I go, "Well, yeah, okay, I like that. Doing what you say you're going to do."
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you make a promise to somebody, and you say, "If you do this, I will do that." And they do those things, and then you don't do that. You say, "Oh, well, I decided I don't want to do that because it's no longer beneficial, or I'm not feeling good about it." Well, wait a minute. Based on your word, you had somebody give their word, and they committed to their word, kept their word, met their promise, and did what they said they were going to do. And now you think you could just walk out. So for me, our industry, the indie industry, suffers not from talent. There's so many talented people. I've worked with so many talented people, incredibly talented people, musicians and cinematographers. Josh Williams, a cinematographer I've worked with on a few projects. Very talented man, an editor as well, and a musician, done his own stuff. Committed. But commitment. That's what we were talking about. What is commitment? Is it commitment to yourself? Commitment to others? Commitment to the project? What is it? Well, for me, it's one simple thing. It's commitment to yourself. When you make a promise to somebody, you're promising yourself that you will make that commitment. You will meet that expectation, and you will do what you say you're going to do. Come hell, high water, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You will do your best. So for me, professional is real simple. You do your best under the circumstances that you're in with what you got, period. And you meet your commitment. But wait a minute. What if you're on a project and you don't really like how it's going, or you don't get along with somebody? Do you just decide, "Oh, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home"? It reminds me of growing up when I was a kid. I grew up in the projects, in Denver, multiple different project areas, some pretty heavy areas. And kids would gather around, the playgrounds, because there was these playgrounds, and everybody from, kids would gather around, they were playing and whatnot. And they get heavy, man. And some kid would be fortunate enough to have a ball. And we'd be playing with the ball. And then all of a sudden he decided he didn't want to play with the ball or play with us. Because he didn't get his way or whatever, take his ball home. Man, that was a mistake. That kid got his ball popped, his butt kicked, and he went home crying.
Mhm.
The flat ball. I don't know. The industry has no lack of talent. It has lack of commitment. It has lack of integrity at times. People feel free to uh, go ahead and make a promise. And let's talk about that promise. Oral agreements. Ah, ah. That's one of the biggest problems with this industry. People running around making oral agreements with each other, and then they can walk away and say, "Oh well, I don't like it anymore. It's not my cup of tea," and leave. Uh, we do everything CRA Entertainment, Craig Aarons and myself, contractually for two reasons: to protect all the people that work with us, so that they know that we are committed to what we say we're going to do and meet our responsibilities, i.e., pay them for their work, which we do always, even more at times than we have promised. And it also protects us. People don't understand what contracts are. They're a promise recognized by law and a commitment recognized by law with consequences when breached. Craig and I operate as a business, straight out. We treat everybody with respect in that regard, straight out. We're very upfront. We disclose everything upfront, and we contract with everybody and meet our obligations, and we have each time. Unfortunately, not everybody in this industry has that kind of integrity. There's so many people. Oh my God, they take a couple of acting lessons and they're an acting coach. They get a couple of small parts on a film and now they're a director. Or they direct some crummy film and now they give themselves an award. There's no integrity. Come on. It is what it is. We've done films that Craig and I have sat in the back cringing, going, "I need another beer." This requires a six pack.
Well, at least we had a clear visual where the exit signs are.
Yeah, I always sit in the back row by the exit. You can't trust. You just can't trust your own sense of self. That's the problem here. I know I'm not the smartest. I know I'm not the most talented. I know I'm not the most handsomest and everything else. I'm certainly not the most tallest. I know all these things, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with any of that. But I also know where I'm at, and I know I'm committed. And if I make a promise to you, if I make a commitment to you on one of your projects, you can believe I will be there, hell or high water, no matter what. And I will keep my commitment no matter what. Anybody that works with me or has worked with me knows this about me. And I'm speaking for Craig as well, because we both hold commitment and integrity in high regard. That being said, I think from now on, when you make a deal with somebody, do a little background on them. Find out who they are a little bit. You know, I'm not saying look at their criminal background, call the FBI or anything like that, but check them out. We thought at times there was people we've worked with that we thought we knew, and it's happened on our films, huh, Craig? Share some of those instances with us.
Well, like to your point, and several individuals came to mind. And you
We've had editors walk out on the same day that we're beginning. Wranglers.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the thought crosses your mind, do you really know them? And even you have a signed agreement performance agreement signed by all parties. It's kind of like, so what, to a good extent on their side. And you've done your due diligence as far as checking with references. So I don't know, David, in the end, is it a crapshoot? Is it luck? Is it that gut feeling? So, I wish I had a better thought out answer, because even doing your due diligence, there are times, man, that, as we've seen, that it doesn't always play out the way that you had hoped for.
No, it doesn't speak well for our industry. I get it. Everybody got stars in their eyes. They need to get them out of their eyes. I once told an actor to quit focusing so much on what they look like. This actor had a stunning look, very good looking actor, very talented. I worked with this actor and was very impressed, easy to work with this actor.
Mm-hmm.
But this actor could not get out of the mirror.
Yeah.
And that's the perspective that I think taints our industry, that people don't see themselves as part of something. They see themselves as the something. This is a collective process, period. Nobody does it by themselves. Even if a person takes it and says, I wrote it, I directed it, and I'm the star in it. Well, guess what? Without all the other people necessary, all other cast and crew, that individual has nothing.
Right.
So keeping in mind the affectation and the impact to all who are involved is extremely important. It's extremely important. When we're working on a project, we know how it affects everybody, which is why we take into consideration their needs, where they're going to be, their lodging, how they're going to get paid, how they're going to get fed, how can we take care of them, even transportation-wise. As an indie company, we have flown people across the states and have taken care of them because our commitment was such.
Mm-hmm.
In this industry, you have to know your place. I am not an editor. I know what I want. I don't know how to do it. I've worked with very talented editors like Josh Williams, even Brad Durante, a gentleman I worked with. Good editor. Craig Aarons, my partner. Good editors. But that's not the end all. It took a whole lot of people to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to post, it takes a whole lot of production preparation, a whole lot of things going on, a whole lot of commitment. We were recently involved in a film where we spent 11 months plus in preparation for the shoot. The shoot was to start today, ironically, but it got waylaid because of unprepared people, uncommitted people. And that's just the way that goes. And that happened. That's real. And we're not going to go shoot ourselves about it. No. Or them. No. It's a business arrangement and we'll handle it as such. That's what we do. And in our industry, that is the lack. People do not have a strong business acumen. They don't have a sense of responsibility. They don't have integrity. They don't understand the word commitment, keeping a promise, no matter what. No matter what. If you are capable of doing so, you must. You made the commitment. Believe me, I've been on sets where I didn't like the directors. So what? I've worked in environments where I didn't like the people. So what? I didn't commit to liking them. I committed to doing the work. And that commitment was really to myself.
Mm-hmm.
To myself. to meet my goals, my interests, my desires. And that's where commitment starts. And that's called integrity. People often say, oh, integrity is about knowing, that you're all home by yourself and there's a jar full of cookies and not eating them. I'm going to eat the cookie. Straight up, I'm going to go get in that cookie jar and I'm going to eat some of those cookies. And when they come home, somebody looks in there and says, who ate the cookies? I'm going to have a smile on my face. I ate them. Integrity is owning up to eating the cookies. Okay. It's not about not eating the cookies. It's about admitting you ate the cookies. Okay. Because I'm going to eat the damn cookies. So don't ask for something, because the strange thing is you just might get it. And when you're messing around and you think you are free to just go ahead and make commitments willy-nilly, where other people depend on them, actors, technicians, other people who depend on that commitment that you made. And when you just decide you don't want to do it anymore, you affect all those people.
Mm-hmm.
You affect all those people. Who are you to do that? Because it's your ball and you didn't get your way and I'm going home. I told you about that kid, right? Anyway, now we don't do that anymore. We don't pop the ball no more. I'm too old. I ain't doing that. Okay, so people get mad at me now if I did that. So, but remember something. For me, as an artist, off. There I am. Oh, the magic of science. And the let's do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. No, okay. Oh well. But anyway, as I was blabbing about, commitment to me is everything. That's the respect. It's self-respect, it's integrity, and my commitments are to myself. Period. End of issue. And I keep all my commitments. Period. That's what's lacking in our industry. And come on, folks out there. Craig and I, gosh, all we want to do is make movies. We want to make films. We want to do it with people who have integrity, with people who have a sense of commitment. We know they'll be talented, or we wouldn't work with them in the first place. Because I have to have people around me who can help me grow. People who are talented, like Josh Williams, like Jeannie Young, like many other actors I've worked with, Jeff Hatch, Maria Olson, people that help me grow. So commitment begins at home. And on that note, not to segue cheaply, but we would like you all now to make a commitment to see our films. And where can we see that, Craig?
Yeah. If nothing else, make a commitment to watch our films free on Tubi TV. It doesn't cost you a thing.
Amen.
Watch all of our films on Tubi TV.
And what films are they, Craig?
They would be, as I recall, and if I forget one of them, then you need to make a mental note. Demon Fighter, Love and Quarantine, The Crumbs, and The Evil Down the Street.
Ta-da! I wish they had an organ right there. You know what I mean? People are going, I think he's got something else in that coffee. Wrong, it's just coffee. No, it's just coffee.
No,
you can't drink herbs.
Yeah.
Well, you can, but yeah. All right. So, speaking of commitment, there's some really serious things going on up here where we need more commitment besides watching our films. There's the election. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think you know that the only thing missing from my complexion are blue eyes, because I am a blue guy this time. all the way around.
Mhm.
I'm blue, 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 blue. And why am I so blue? Because I don't see the Republican Party coming out with anything worthwhile. And now that Mr. Bump, or what's his name? Trump, that guy. And now that he is being touted by evangelicals, you know, those people in the tents run around sometimes with snakes and stuff, going, hey, and healing each other and falling to the wayside. All that, hallelujah. Anyway, those folks, they're calling him the second coming. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by that. He could be the dribble. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, uh, Trump uh, is Trump. I'm not interested in somebody trying to save me politically. I'm not interested in God coming and showing up on the doorsteps of the Capitol or in the Supreme Court to render a ruling. Not one bit. I'm interested in God entering everybody's heart and soul throughout the world. I'm not interested in preachers and all these soul savers coming to the Capitol steps and trying to save our country. I'm interested in them reaching out to people who need help, the homeless, those who have nothing to eat, those who are lost. I'm interested in them putting their faith towards healing those folks and bringing them some type of peace in their life. I'm not interested in all these so-called faithful leaders who side with other so-called emperors and so-called dictators from Russia, China, North Korea, and any other place where they inhibit the growth of the human being, where they prohibit women from being people, where they disallow people from voting, where they segregate. I'm interested in inclusiveness and a government that sees all people as people and equal and applies justice broadly and equally across the board to everybody, to each man, from the president down to the homeless man living under the bridge. The law must be applied equally across the board to all of us. None of us are above the law. Not Trump, not Biden, nobody. And cheers for our President Biden, who stood by and said he will not pardon his son. His son did it. He will let it fall where it be, because justice must be what it is, justice. It can't be biased. It can't be prejudiced. It must be equal. So keep that in mind when you go to vote. Keep that in mind when you think about how privileged you think you are. What did the man say? But for a little bit of luck, there go I, right? The grace of God. But for the grace of God, there go I. And it could have been me, and it could have been you. And really, if you think about it, it's all of us. It's all of us. We all live here. We're all Americans. All of us. We love this country. We stand by our Constitution. We're all equal. Let no man say he's better than anybody else. I'm voting, as you already know. Harris Walls, the blue ticket, down the board. Let's write this. Republicans, please, don't vote your party. If it was the other way around, I'd be voting the other way around, straight up. If the Democrats were preaching the crap that Mr. Trump is, then I'd be voting for Mr. Trump and against the Democrats. You can believe that. But that's not the case. So you must see it for what it is. he is not the second coming of anything. None of us are. On that note, I'd like to tell you very much it's been a pleasure talking with you today. I hope I didn't offend you, and if I did, get over it. Remember, it's just a bunch of porch talk, man. Just two old guys. We don't know what the hell.
And you're old guys, and you say, look, they're old. They don't know better. You probably have a good point.
That's right. And if you get mad and come up on his porch, his dog will bite you.
I have two big ass dogs.
Thanks for talking to us today.
Until next time, folks.
Right on. Love you. Peace.
Have a good day, all.